afternoon and welcome to another inspiring episode of Spotlight. I am Venice Bautista.
And I am Kim Sancha. And this afternoon, we are very fortunate because we are joined by an extraordinary woman who's immersed in beauty, of course, both inside and out.
Yes, and she's got the brains too. She has a degree in forensic studies.
Yes.
And syempre, being in pageants, she's being trained to answer intelligently
Yes.
under pressure.
Exactly. But hindi tayo pageant ngayon. So hindi natin siya pressure. So without further ado, please welcome our reigning Binibining Pilipinas International 2021, Hannah Arnold. Good afternoon.
Hey.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
We are so delighted that you have graced our show today. How are you?
Of
Happy
course.
Women's Month. Have you been
Yes.
busy?
Happy Women's Month. Thank you for scheduling me in. Yes, I've been a little busy. Activities are starting to push through again, which I'm so excited about. And yes, thank you so much again for having me. I quickly messaged my mom and friends to watch.
Wow. Parang dagdag pressure sa atin na. We need to be very good in this interview. So, yeah, based on your profile, you were in Australia prior to moving to the Philippines, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, that's great. So, like, how are you going? That's the usual greeting in Australia. Yeah,
Yes.
so something like that. And then, so can you tell us how was your childhood or your life back in Australia? What was it like?
Yes, so that's correct. I was born and raised in Australia, in Canberra. So, for those who don't know, Canberra is actually the capital
Yes.
of Australia. I was very lucky to be surrounded by a big Filipino community also. So, it always felt like I was somehow in the Philippines. And I think that's why growing up, I really wanted to come here all the time. So, every year we would visit. And I'm just very grateful. Like Hannah Montana, I have the best of both worlds.
So it's funny because you grew up there, but then you're also inclined to the culture here in the Philippines.
Right.
So, what struck you the most growing up when it comes to the culture na naranasan mo around the Filipino community in Australia?
Well, I think, in Australia, we also value our family, but I
Right.
think in the Philippines, it's so much stronger. That's what I really appreciated when I would come here. I really felt like my cousins were like my older brothers and sisters. And whenever I would go back to Australia, I would always be so sad because I missed them so much and my Lola. And I think that was my favorite bit, that there was so much respect for the family and the elders. And yeah, I really want to continue that with my own family one day.
Oh, that's so sweet.
All right. And Hannah, are you going in and out of the country, like, going to Australia? Or are you just staying in the
I
Philippines?
Actually, Australia was on quite a tight travel
Yes.
ban during the pandemic. So, for those who don't know, when lockdown first begun for us exactly 2 years ago, so March 2020,
Yes.
Binibining Pilipinas was postponed. So, I was actually a candidate already, but our pageant was postponed, put on hold. So I
Yes.
asked for permission if I could go to Australia for a month, because in my mind I thought luck would just be 1 month and then everything will be okay. So I asked for permission. I made paalam, and then I was lucky to get on a flight to Australia and see my family. However, I didn't realize that the whole world was suddenly going to be locked down, and I actually ended up staying in Australia for 9 months. And then I started working again, and then Binibining Pilipinas was announced. So I came back exactly March 2021 in time for Binibining Pilipinas. And then just recently, flights opened up again. So I'm not sure if I will go there anytime soon because of my preparation for Miss International. It's very important, but I'm hoping my parents and ate will come and visit me very soon.
Yes. And yeah, I witnessed her crowning because I was there, I covered with my photographer, you know that.
Yes, yes.
Your first journey,
Thank
I
you
was
so
there,
much.
and then of course you are the official title holder of BPCI, and it's quite a journey that I witnessed, and I'm happy because personally I know your attitude, so you deserve actually the crown.
Oh, Oh.
Yeah.
So much. Yes, I'm so grateful that you were with me ever since 2019,
Yes.
my first try. Yes, I miss that in the activities. We always see
Yeah.
all of you there. I'm glad it's starting to begin again, that you're all with us in these activities.
Yes, but still, of course, the experience and the memories, without the lockdown and the pandemic, that's the beautiful thing about covering, beauty pageants. So yeah.
Yes, being there in person and just
Yes.
experiencing the beauty of it,
Yes.
the events,
All of it.
right? Yeah, but like
Yes.
take us back to when you were studying like forensics. How did you get into it? Like, were you always interested in forensics and the science field?
Yes, oh my gosh. So I really loved sharing this story. So when I was younger, I actually wanted to be a vet because I really
Oh.
loved animals. And then when my pop, so that's my grandfather in Australia, when he became unwell, I told my mom. My mom always reminds me this. I was just like 5 years old, and I said to her, "Mom, I'm gonna be a doctor so I can look after Pop and my other relatives." But then in high school, science, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I loved all of the experiments when you put all the solutions together and you see the big, the smoke coming out of the equipment or something. It was just so cool. I was always so curious. So then in that moment, I realized maybe I can have a career in science. And then when I found out about forensic science, I was like, look, I'm going to be helping people and doing what I love inside the science lab. So it really was all of my dreams coming together. But deep down, there was still something pushing me towards pageantry. But
Yes.
yes. So, again, it's quite different worlds. But recently, everything came together because during Binibining Pilipinas, I mentioned how we need to invest more in science, and
Yes.
Yeah.
luckily, the Department of Science and Technology was listening, and I've been so lucky to visit them recently in January. I've done many online forums with them, speeches, hosting. So, both of my passions have come together, the pageantry and the science.
Yeah. You know what, Venice, this is the good thing about, having this conversation because we're getting to know or like deep conversation with the
Yes.
guest, not just like, as a beauty queen, a different side of her. And she's actually one of the, title holders from the Binibini that has, a wow credential in forensics.
I
So.
don't know. You don't see that or hear about it
Yes.
every day.
Normally it's like a lawyer or communication. I think she's the first one, if I may remember it correctly, in the history of Bini Bini, that I'm not sure if you're the first forensic title holder from Bini Bini. So,
That's amazing.
yep. And Ven was talking about your study. So, from study, we're going to beauty. So, what made you decide to join, the beauty pageant industry?
Yes, so again, for those who don't know, another story. When
It's
I
okay,
was,
go ahead.
sorry, story time. So when I was 6 years old, I actually did my first pageant in Masbate. So I was baby queen 2002.
Oh.
So that was actually my first pageant. So it wasn't just recently. This was always something that I loved because I used to do ballet. So I loved being on stage, having my makeup done, and seeing my family in the audience. That was the best feeling ever. And hearing everyone clap for me, I don't know, I just really loved that. So then when I was a bit older, when I turned 18, I joined Miss Philippines Australia. That was because the community in Canberra saw my potential. They said, Hannah, you're so tall, you really stand out in the crowd, and we want you to be our flag bearer for Canberra in Miss Philippines Australia. So, with that, I did win one of the titles, and the prize was actually to come to the Philippines and experience a little bit of a reign here. So, I was able to visit TV stations, I visited political people around Manila. I also visited orphanages and schools and donated money. So although it was a short amount of time, it opened my eyes into what life of a beauty queen was really like, especially here in the Philippines. So after that, when I got back to Australia, I actually asked my parents, you know what, maybe I will move to the Philippines and do pageantry there. But they made me promise that I would complete my university degree first, and then that's when I could pursue my pageantry. And during that time, actually, Ati Pia Wurzbach, was a candidate, and people were already commenting and tagging me that I looked like her. So from that moment, I really started following the Binibining Pilipinas,
Mm-hmm.
what the candidates did, and I just fell in love with it and knew that if I joined, it will also bring me closer to my Filipino roots. And because really in all the activities there's so much that we learn, especially in Araneta we get to learn history things, and then Women's Month we celebrate. There's so much exciting stuff in the pageantry. So really, that moment when I visited, that's when I realized there's so much power in pageantry.
Yeah, I think that's what people should know more about. That pageantry is not just about,
Beauty.
beauty. It's so much more.
There's something on it, in it.
Yeah. So it's also like serving others.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Yes, but if I remember correctly, you competed in Binibining Pilipinas twice, right? So what
Yes.
motivated you to try for the
Mm.
second time?
Oh my gosh. Really, it's this might sound cliche or anything, but it's really like the staff members within Binibining Pilipinas.
Oh.
They are so kind.
Yeah.
Being away from my family, they felt like they were my titos, because we have like the ate lady guards, we have the people
Yes.
in marketing and PR who are always with us, and I'm always messaging them. For example, Sir Leroy, hi. We also have the Kuya Black Boys. So they're a group of guys that look after us, and for me, they felt like my titos. And in the last week of the pageant back in 2019, I really felt so sad that I was going to be leaving them. Well, I thought I was going to win, so I thought I was still with them. But in the moment that I didn't win, I was so sad that I would be saying goodbye to them.
Oh.
And when I walked outside, straight after the pageant, there was actually someone waiting for me. I had never met this person before, and they approached me and they said, you know that you have fans when you have a crown, but you know you have friends when you don't have a crown. And I was wondering, what did this person mean? And like, I felt like it was like a fairy tale. Like he disappeared when I turned around. He was there and then gone. And then when I walked around the corner, all of my Hanabis, that's the group of my fans, they were waiting for me. And in that moment, I realized what he meant also, that I didn't have a crown, but they were waiting for me. They became my friends. And all of that, like the staff, those Hanabis waiting for me, it really motivated me that, you know what, these people believe in me so much. I want to come back again and try again.
Oh, that's such a sweet story.
Yes, and earlier you mentioned that you were motivated or encouraged by your friends from Australia, and look at you now. You're a title holder, and you are about to compete in Japan next year. Ba tama ba? I forgot that because it's being moved twice, right?
This year, but we're actually not sure if it's in Japan. They're still looking for other countries also. Yes, so there's no date yet, no country, but soon we will find out, and I'm so excited.
All right. Since you were excited about your international pageant journey, how's the preparation? I mean, it's quite like years now, right? So yeah, can you tell us? I mean, what have you been doing in related to pageantry?
Yes, oh my gosh. I think that's the most exciting part when it comes to pageants. The costumes I'm going to wear, the evening gown, everything. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting, and I'm so grateful that I will be the one to wear the sash that says Philippines. So, there's a lot of work that needs to go into it, and I'm so grateful that I'm surrounded by an amazing team that have been training me, helping me, guiding me. So the preparations so far have been, just researching Japanese culture, making sure I'm always respectful to the organization. I still haven't exactly planned my evening gown or national costume because there's still a little bit of time. So I want to make sure that it's really not just something that represents what I like, but something that really represents the whole Philippines. Also in Miss International, for those that are not aware, there's a speech segment, and I think this is one of the most powerful moments because for me, Bea Santiago, when she won, her speech was so impactful. Ati Kylie Versosa, her speech also, she has the memorable moment where she mentioned three things that come to her mind. So of course I need a really powerful speech that will leave an impact no matter if I win or not. So every day I'm kind of thinking in my head which way do I want to go with the speech. But it's not yet done yet. So there's so many bits and pieces that I'm working on. But I still want to take my time, not rush into it, because I know that it will all come, and I want it to really be from the heart and in the moment also.
Okay. That's great. Hannah, this is just a personal, like a comment from me. You don't need to worry because you're in good hand with BPCI. They have been,
Yes.
being supportive for so many, like 60 years or 50 years already. So you don't need to worry about it. Apart from, of course, the fans or the Filipino fans, you know that, right?
Yes, and actually, I'd like to add for those again who don't know, Madam Stella Araneta was actually the first Miss
Yes,
International.
I know
So
that.
60 years ago. So this
Mm.
year we're celebrating the 60th Miss International. So it's really going to be amazing.
Diba?
Yes, I think definitely I will have good advice from her.
Yeah, and,
Oh.
and when we were talking earlier about her study and then her beauty, and we heard that I think you have a campaign or this time your advocacy that you would like to share our katribu or our viewers. So this is the time. So can you share with us your plan or advocacy?
Yes, so the advocacy that I went into Binibining Pilipinas with was really for children's education. Although it may sound like something that's already been said and done, that's because it's still so important. Every year we still need to focus on education. And during the pandemic, I did start my own advocacy page called Books of Tomorrow. With this page, I was calling for donations for school supplies and reading books because my main vision there and motto is with a book, a child can learn to read today, and with a pencil, they will write their own future tomorrow. Because I really want these kids to be inspired and to know that through their own hard work and learning, they can write their own future that they want. They can be the ones to choose their dreams. Just
Oh,
like I was able to, I was able to choose forensics and I went for it. I want them to choose that. And then also after winning, I've been focusing more on science and promoting that, especially to younger girls and encouraging people to take up STEM because we really do have great programs and courses here in the Philippines. And then also for Araneta, their current advocacy for this month, for Women's Month, is Fearless Filipina. So
mm.
in case you go to Cubao, if you go to Araneta City, there's a lot of signage around promoting Fearless Filipina, and this is really the way that I see this is that no matter what obstacles or anything that is in front of us, for example, the pandemic or any gender bias or anything, we can still do it. We are not women long. We are women and we are proud.
Yes, that's right. That's in Araneta City, the city of
Yeah.
furs.
Yes.
Your work is so admirable.
Yes.
And there are so many things that you are doing right now.
Yes,
But
and she's young.
I know. I would like to say that she's busy, but more on the driven side.
Yes, exactly.
In a way that you cannot topple Hannah Arnold.
Yeah, that's why she's
Thank
very appropriate in she's our guest for
Yeah,
Women's Month, so
Month,
she's very
exactly.
appropriate.
So I want to ask, who is a woman? Name a woman or somebody who inspires you as a woman too.
yeah, that's
Oh
right.
wow! Oh, I love this picture, sir. I'm just seeing the picture from Science Department of Science and Tech. Shout out to them in case they're watching. Definitely a woman figure. Again, it might sound cliche, but that would be my mom and my
Mm.
ate. They've both been through so many of their own personal struggles, things to do with health or just daily things they need to overcome. And whenever I hear their stories and how they pushed through, it really inspires me. Especially when I was growing up, I always asked them to help me with my schoolwork. And then when I was applying for a job, both of them helped me with my resume. And then, when I moved here, both of them were always behind my back. And whenever I have a problem, I video call both my mom and my ate. So, they're the women that will always be by my side, cheering me on. And I'm just super grateful to have such amazing, empowering women in my life.
Women helping women, diba?
Okay.
It's something so personal. I mean, we love our fathers, our titos, our kuyas,
Yes.
but there's something so personal and gentle with how women uplift other women, right?
Agree. So first we have the study, the beauty, advocacy, and this time charity. So we know that you've helped a lot of frontliners during the pandemic. We are aware of that. So what have you learned so far? So what was your most precious experience during, helping the frontliners during the pandemic?
Yes, well, just like you mentioned, I have been very blessed to focus more on my advocacies due to Miss International being postponed. I was able to, yeah, focus on what's here in the Philippines, in the community, and of course, most importantly, that's our frontliners and also those affected by recent calamities. So, with Araneta City, with Binibining Pilipinas, BPCI, we're really able to donate, things like food, water, things that some of us take for granted every day also. Monetary donations. Obviously, this is not something that I did alone. It's really the help of the community and everyone. And one thing that I really am inspired by when I go online is that there's actually some of my followers who also are creating their own ongoing donation drives. And that's what makes me so happy that I'm inspiring them to start their own donation drive for the frontliners, for the people that are really looking after us during this pandemic. So what I learned is that really, one simple act of kindness, it will really have a ripple effect, not only on the one receiving it, but the people that are watching you, they will also be inspired to give. And one thing that I always tell my followers is, even if you give a smile to a stranger, even if you're wearing a mask, you can see it in your eyes that you're smiling. So even if you say hello to a stranger, it really makes their day, because when someone does that to me, I'm so happy. So yeah, it doesn't have to be something that you give that's money or a product or something. It's just a smile or a simple hello.
My gosh, what an inspiring woman.
At a
I'm
very young
very
age.
inspired.
At a very young age, right?
Yeah, so we'd love to know you more, but before we continue and enjoy more of this
Conversation.
we'll take a short break. Spotlight will be back.
Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas. We shall fly, soar, fight, and win!
Be updated sa news and happenings katribu. Hatid ng Daily Tribune sa inyo ang mga balitang napapanahon sa loob at labas ng bansa. Kami na ang bahala sa paghahatid sa inyo ng mga latest and reliable news. We got you covered sa programang Tribune News on Q. Mapapanood mula umaga hanggang gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Non-stop showbiz update ba ang hanap nyo? Sagot na yan ang aming Tribune Extra. Balitang entertainment at lifestyle, mapa-local man o international, meron kami niyan. Manood at makichika na kasama si Kim Sancha, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 5 ng hapon sa Tribune News on Q at separate premiere nito ng alas 7:30 ng gabi. Mapapanood sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube.
Welcome back to Spotlight, and still with us is, of course, the reigning Bini Pilipinas International, Hannah Arnold. Welcome back, Hannah.
Hi. Hello.
Yes, and before we take a break, we were talking about your, of course, your study, your beauty, and then your advocacy and charity. So, are there any things that you are doing at the moment in between that we don't know that you want to share with us?
Yeah. What keeps you busy?
Oh, wow.
Yes, busy. I mean, are you playing? Are you what? Are you knitting? I don't know. So yeah, maybe something that something.
Apart from work and helping others.
Exactly.
Well, usually if I'm not replying to any messages, it's because I'm taking a nap.
Of course.
Well deserved so.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty.
Yes, Samantha Panlilio, our Binibining Pilipinas Grand.
Grand.
She knows if I'm not replying, it means that I'm taking a nap because usually I always have my phone with me. So yes, or I try to read. I have so many books, and people keep on giving me books because they know that I love to read. But there hasn't been much time to read, so I try to go through a few pages a day. Yeah, I really love to read. It's a whole new adventure when you put all your electronics away. It's really nice.
That's true. I love reading, like taking a break from
Yes.
from my phone, from my laptop, and just reading.
Social media.
Just taking a break from now and then. But anyway, I'd like to just ask. We were talking about serving others earlier with your work, with your advocacy, and I was curious with your answer in the Q&A portion of the Binibini
Oh.
Pilipinas competition when you said freedom of speech is a key to democracy and a powerful tool to decide who to vote for in the upcoming elections. So why do you think so? Why freedom of speech?
Yes, oh my gosh. So first of all, in the pageant, it's always so hard to answer just in 30 seconds.
Yes.
There's always so much going on in my mind.
Yes.
And as soon as I heard freedom of speech, I knew already that time that people were still registering to vote. That's what me and my other candidate sisters were doing. We were trying to encourage people to register
Yes.
because our vote really matters. And so, I was like, maybe this is my opportunity to really say what I believe it means because especially on social media, we can easily write whatever we want. Sometimes people believe it to be a fact or something.
Yes.
Sometimes the opinions, we don't agree on it, but I'm glad we're allowed to share how we feel. That's what social media is for. And like I said on Twitter, when I go on there, mostly it's really been about the election. And that's really what I've learned. Sometimes I don't have time to watch the debates or read all of the articles or the history of the candidates, but when I go on Twitter, I'm able to see some brief thoughts and opinions, and I don't necessarily then take it as my own opinion. I make sure I still do a little bit of my own research, but it's helping me come to my own decision in May when it comes to voting. So that's what I really wanted to do in the moment of Coronation Night. I wanted to show that there's so much relevance and power that us beauty queens have. We're not just like beautiful. I wanted to really use that moment as a call for action to think about the power we have online and the power with voting.
And she did. You made an impact.
She
on
nailed
the
it.
Viewers, right?
You're welcome. And we are aware that we are celebrating, of course, the International Women's Night. So, parang ako women. Women, sorry. No joke. So, apart from, the Araneta cities, honoring the women this month, meron ka bang plan, to celebrate or honor at your own or maybe plan of, celebrating Women's Month?
Yes, so like you mentioned, Araneta City have so many ongoing activities. Last week we had a Zumba activity with some of the
Dance.
titas of Manila. It was so good because we're keeping fit and healthy whilst also celebrating our femininity. Another thing that I've been doing this month is I'm also an ambassador for Love Yourself PH, which is centers around Manila and also in Cebu that help give free HIV testing. And what me and the Love Yourself team have been trying to promote this month is HIV testing. That it's not only for guys or people in the LGBTQIA plus community. Women also should really be checking their status. And so recently I posted a video of my own journey having my test, and I really want to encourage people to not be afraid to get tested, and especially the women. I really walked away feeling so empowered after the counseling session, after meeting the staff there, and it's all confidential, so you really don't have to tell anyone or show anyone that you're there. But that's what I really appreciate this month, and beyond this month, I want to keep on promoting that for our women also.
Yes, because yeah, that's true. There's nothing wrong with getting tested and prioritizing your health.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, earlier we were talking about Miss Stella Marquez
Yes.
being the Pilipinas Charities Incorporated, the first crowned Miss International.
Yes. The head.
What is the best advice have you gotten from her, like as a woman or maybe as a beauty pageant contestant? Like, what made you just look up to her in a way?
Yes, well, during this pandemic, we actually haven't been able to physically meet with her, so I haven't had a lot of time to tell her everything that I'm thinking, everything that I want to hear from her. But even before I joined, I was already so inspired by her because, for those who don't know, she's actually Colombian. So she was Miss Colombia when she won Miss International. But then look at her now. She's loved by all the Filipinos. She is Filipino, and then she's the national director for our prestigious pageant here.
Yes.
It's just something that I was so inspired by because, as you mentioned before, I grew up in Australia. You can probably hear it in my accent also. There's still some moments where people have doubt in me that I'm really the best representative for the Philippines. But then when I think about Madam Stella and how much she's done for us, that really inspires me already. You don't necessarily have to have the blood in you or have grown up here.
Yes.
As long as you really just have the passion for it and you really have those Filipino values and everything, then you really are Filipino and will be the best representative. So I'm really hoping I make her proud, and I'm still trying to research and find pictures of some of her outfits. I would really like to have an outfit that's kind of inspired by what she wore also. That would be such a lovely thing for her to celebrate 60 years of Miss International.
It'll be a momentous
Yeah.
occasion.
Yes.
And of course, Madam Stella is the first Miss International, so like 60 years ago. And now you are representing the country, to the Miss International, who knows when yet, because you said that there's no date yet. So what's So what's your advice to aspiring beauty queens that who would like to follow your footsteps?
Yes, oh my gosh. So it's really exciting right now. We do actually have ongoing Binibining Pilipinas applications, and these can be handed in until April 8th. And then, of course, we have other national pageants that are ongoing, and then also in provinces. There's so many pageants, not even just female pageants. The other day, I judged a male pageant in Laguna, and then I also judged Miss International Queen Philippines, which is celebrating our transgender woman. So there's so many pageants going on, and I just want to say to all of the candidates, aspiring beauty queens, beauty kings, as long as you just remember your reason why you joined, always bring that with you every day. So when you wake up, remember who you're doing it for, why, and remember that your platform has so much power, and just stay true to yourself, because that's what I did the second time I joined. I made sure I was really myself. I wore my favorite color. I just enjoyed the process and remembered that this was really for all of my advocacies to have more platform, and it worked out so well. So I just want to say good luck to everyone that's applying, especially for Binibining Pilipinas. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see who I'm going to crown next.
Yes.
Aw.
Yes. And Venice, let me just share, because of the alert level down to 0, this is actually the good thing that we are free, and not literally free, we are, about to cover again the pageant. But of course, with
Yeah.
restriction and, we need to be careful still because the virus is still there, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
we're still happy. I know, we're happy because I will be able to cover it.
Yes.
Thank you, Leroy, for that. I just need to say that, Leroy.
But
Yes, oh my
Hannah,
gosh.
you said earlier, like, you started wearing your favorite color. You just did what you had to do on your own principles, right? So I think that's a very important note to take
Yes.
about just being you
Yes.
when
Yeah.
applying for these things or for any other thing really in the future for any personal
Yes.
reasons.
Yes.
We ourselves.
Exactly. Yes, even job interviews.
Yes.
And especially me when I'm the judge, I can also spot if someone is, genuinely enjoying
Yeah.
themselves.
I got you.
So now I know what the judges were looking for.
They can already spot. Oh, this one's nervous.
Yeah.
This one's confident.
Yes.
So, change shoes, you're still the judge, right? So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this conversation, this interview is not even like an interview for us. I
Yeah,
think.
it's not
good.
just exciting, it's not
Yeah.
just inspiring, it's moving, fun,
No,
everything.
I know. So before we let you go, we'll take a short break and then we'll play a
yeah.
quick game.
Yeah,
just a
that's gonna be fun.
refresher. So Spotlight will be back. Stay with us.
Alamin ang latest entertainment at sa mga paborito niyong celebrities kasama si Pocholo Concepcion sa programang WhatsApp. Makibanding at kwentuhan kasama ang mga kilalang personalidad sa entertainment industry. Sama-sama natin silang kilalanin at silipin ang makulay nilang mundo every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Kaya sit back and relax lang kayo mga katribu. Hanapin at ilike ang Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Dahil sagot na namin ang masayang kwentuhan dito lang sa WhatsApp. Mga katribu, tara na't makiisa at matuto sa mga public service programs hatid ng Kalingang Katribu. Tuwing Lunes, nandyan ang usapang business na magbibigay tips at inspirasyon sa mga aspiring entrepreneurs kasama si Vernon Velasco. Tuwing Miyerkules, usapang pangkalusugan naman ang tatalakayin ni Miss Cory Quirino sa Health and Wellness. At tuwing Biyernes naman, kung legal advice ang kailangan mo, sagot ka na ng Legal Diaries kasama si Elmer Navarro Manuel at mga guest lawyers. Lahat ng niya mapapanood tuwing alas 3:30 ng hapon sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Makinig at makisali sa usapan every Friday night at 6 p.m. sa I Speak Katribu Podcast. Samahan sina Daniel at Alvin na pag-usapan ang mga relevant topic na tiyak kakarelatean nyo mga katribu. At pagdating ng Sunday at 7 p.m., Speak Your Mind with our I Speak program na sasagot sa mga tanong regarding the latest and relevant issues sa paligid natin. I-like at i-follow nyo ang Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube para updated ka sa mga latest episode namin mga katribu.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And still with us, of course, the reigning Binibining Pilipinas International, Hannah Arnold. Hi, welcome back. So we are actually at the last part or gap of the show. So this time we're not gonna ask you like question that is like a torture question because this time we're gonna play a game wherein we're going to ask you, would you rather?
Yeah.
So this is just like a quick game, like
Yeah.
question and answer. So whatever comes to your minds first, then do it. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so would you rather watch a musical or go to a concert?
Oh, concert.
Okay.
Would you rather hear animals talk or plants talk?
That's nice.
Oh, sorry, animals or
Plants.
oh.
Oh, di ba, see?
Oh my gosh. I think,
It's hard.
that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give explanation?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
I would choose plants.
Okay.
Because parang with animals we can kind of hear their
Yes.
sounds or pick up on their
Oh, yeah,
gestures.
yeah.
But plants, I don't know if I'm watering it too much or
Yeah.
it doesn't have enough sunlight.
Tama naman.
Totoo.
She's just caring. Yun lang yun.
Yeah, oo.
And what I like it is, nag-volunteer talaga siyang, can I explain? you're actually the first guest, na nag-explain. What I remember during the spotlight. So, it's really fun. Okay, so would you rather have more time or more money?
Oh, more time.
Ayun.
True. With a busy schedule, kailangan talaga more than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather give gifts or receive them?
Ooh, give gifts.
Yep, of
Yeah.
course. Would you rather hear the good news first or the bad news first?
Oh, hear the bad news first.
Same.
Same with me because I want to hear that because I want to know what happened,
Yeah.
what I need to do the next
Yeah.
time, or something like that.
That's true.
Alright, I think I know her answer for this.
Me too.
Anyway, would you rather inspire others or be inspired?
Inspire others.
Okay, last two. Would you rather spend a night in a forest full of wild animals or a real haunted house?
Oh. You know what? Explanation again.
Yeah, go right ahead. I love that. Go.
I actually don't like horror movies, but
Oh.
I would like to stay in a horror house, a haunted house. I think that would be interesting. Maybe I
Oh,
can
diba?
communicate to them.
Communicate, I pass on that opportunity. Alright, okay, last question. Would you rather have a lifetime supply of gas or groceries?
Oh, groceries.
I think,
Because-
we should explain.
Because, sorry.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Because after my busy schedule, my tita is always like, Hannah, we need to do our groceries, and then and then I'm always like so tired to go. So yeah, at least if the lifetime supply is always there,
You don't
maybe it's
need
just
to
there.
like get out and,
Yeah.
and have it in your way in the schedule.
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us today, Hannah. We enjoyed so much.
Yes, and thank you for being, like everything.
Yes, you could
Yes,
sport.
a lovely guest again at a young age, right? So at this moment, Hannah, any message or anything that you would like to, promote or anything that you're doing that our katribu or viewers would like to know?
I just want to say thank you first of all to both of you
Oh,
for joining.
you're welcome.
For having me today. I actually wasn't expecting this. When Sir Leroy was telling me that we're trying to organize this, I didn't expect that it was going to be so fun. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I think,
Oh no.
what happened?
Hold on. Oh, that was such a. Hannah, are you still with
Thank
us?
you so much. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
hello. Sorry.
Yeah,
you can-
go ahead.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please continue.
Sorry, someone was calling me.
Oh, that's why. Go ahead.
To my data. I just want to say thank you to all of the fans for always supporting all of us beauty queens. Earlier today, Tracy, she was top 13 in Miss World, and then we have Kathleen, who's also about to compete.
Yes.
It doesn't matter which pageant we're from, which country we're competing in. I'm just so grateful that everyone really supports us, and I cannot wait for my turn. So I really hope everyone will keep on praying for me on my journey to Miss International. And sana next time I'm here on Spotlight, maybe I'll have the Miss International sash. Let's see.
Yeah.
So thank you so much again. And of course, happy Women's Month again.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much once again for joining us and for gracing our show. You've been such a lovely guest. We enjoyed this so much. I wish we could just get our coffee and set up a table here and just continue this. But sadly, we're short for time. But we wish you luck and on all of your endeavors, especially with Miss International.
Yes. The BPCI and the whole Philippines is behind your back. So don't worry about that.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Yo.
And I can't wait to see you both in Aranet physically.
Yeah, of course.
Face to face.
You're welcome. And of course, thank you to our Katribus for tuning in today. Watch Spotlight every Thursday at 2 p.m. on the Tribune's official Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
I am Venice Bautista,
And I am Kim Sancha.
and this has been
Spotlight.